You're listening to the Cool Audio Podcast, your escape into the world of stories, sounds, and imagination. Whether you're driving, chilling at home, or just need a moment to unplug, we've got a story just for you. So sit back, relax, and let the journey begin. Justin panicked after hearing what the woman said. He knew how important this foster mother was to Chloe. If something happened to Sandra, Chloe would be devastated. However, Jack was much calmer than usual. The more powerful his opponent was, the more he needed to remain calm in times of crisis. Instead of being led by the nose by the enemy, it was probably because of this reverse thinking that Jack was able to escape the calamity time and time again. Jack looked at the woman from Doomsday Reaper. His eyes were still as calm as water. Of course we understand this, but you should also understand that it is not a coincidence that we were able to kill 2 dream creators in such a short period of time. Once you kill our people in the dream, we would really die, but similarly, if we kill you in the dream, you will not be able to return to the real world. Haha, are you threatening me? Do you think I would be afraid of dying if I dared to even enter this dream? Plus, the 4 of us, against your group, it's worth it. One life could exchange for multiple lives. Jack, do you know what I like about you the most? Finally, the woman looked lovingly at Jack again. Jack remained silent. I love how you're always so fearless. It's like you won't even bat an eyelid when the world is destroyed. I'm so disappointed that such a powerful man was charmed by an ordinary woman like Chloe. Chloe really doesn't deserve you. We'll have more fun together. The woman took the opportunity to persuade Jack again. Are you done talking? You're so annoying. He doesn't like you, can't you tell? You're just a woman. How can you be so shameless? Even if you look like Athena, Jack won't like you. Got it? What the woman just said angered Justin. Justin didn't allow anyone to say anything bad about Chloe. However, the woman didn't pay any attention to Justin. Instead, she said to Jack, Actually, even if you guys kill me, it'll be too late. Time is almost up. You won't be able to find the 4th dream creator in such a short time. Haha. When the dream collapses, our dream creator will wipe you out. Jack, it's not easy to live a full life. You're a genius. Why must you die together with these commoners? From the woman's words, Justin and Jack obtained 2 important pieces of information. Firstly, they did not have much time left, even in the dream. Secondly, the 4th dream creator had hidden himself deeper than Stella. Therefore, it was not easy to find him in such a short time. Hence, there might be a bad outcome. In the end, everyone might die. Justin couldn't take it anymore. He pointed at the dream creator and scolded again. You don't understand human language, do you? Let me translate for you. Jack's intentions are clear. He would rather die with us commoners than spend the rest of his life with a monster like you. I think he's out of your league. Afraid that Jack would misunderstand, Justin turned around and added, I mean, you're the swan and she's the toad. After hearing what the woman said, Jack remained unmoved. Then he suddenly turned to Sandra. Then he smiled gently. Mom, do you remember what you have to do every weekend morning at 9? Upon hearing this, both the dream creator and Justin froze, not knowing what Jack wanted to do. Sandra was stunned when she heard this. Her consciousness was basically controlled by this dream creator. Therefore, she was a little slow and didn't recognize Jack and Justin. However, after Jack asked her about a certain time, she had an impression of him. Then she tried to think about what she had to do every weekend morning. It was a habit for such a long time, and she would definitely not forget it. As expected, Sandra finally remembered. Every weekend at 9 o'clock in the morning, she would punctually recite scriptures and pray in the study. Sandra was a devotee. Perhaps as a form of spiritual relief, Sandra ate vegetarian on the 1st and 15th day of each month and recited scriptures on the weekends. Jack accidentally heard Chloe mention it once. As for what scriptures she would chant, he didn't know, so he could only take a risk. After all, if Justin's great compassion mantra worked, then no matter what scripture his mother-in-law chanted, it would still be useful. At this critical moment, there was no time to think about many things. Even if it was a Hail Mary effort, he had to give it a try. This was Jack's style. The dream creator didn't know what Jack was up to, but she was afraid that he would play tricks. She placed her finger in her mouth and whistled. The venomous snake suddenly pounced at Sandra's face. It was so fast that it was shocking. Justin's heart almost jumped out of his chest. At that moment, Sandra closed her eyes and mumbled something. The viper suddenly stopped in front of her. Then, its head swayed left and right, but it stopped attacking forward. The dream creator became a little anxious and whistled again. However, the poisonous snake did not respond. Jack watched as his mother-in-law mouthed, "This was the Buddhist's Heart Sutra." It seemed like Chloe was right. His mother-in-law was indeed reciting scriptures. And judging from the snake's reaction, the Heart Sutra was effective. Before the dream creator could react, Jack whispered to Justin, "Justin, let's attack." Justin reacted quickly and ran towards the dream creator with Jack. Just as he was about to reach the woman, a downpour suddenly fell from the sky. The rainwater blurred their vision. When Jack and Justin opened their eyes again, they realized that the scene in the room had changed. The house was long gone. In its place was a vast ocean, and the two of them were in a violent tsunami. A huge wave came crashing down again. "Justin, gather your consciousness. This is a dream," Jack reminded Justin loudly. Justin immediately closed his eyes and focused all his attention on his consciousness. After the two of them quickly gathered their consciousness, the tsunami subsided. The surroundings became quiet. When they opened their eyes, the scene had changed again. They were in a very dark room. There were mirrors behind them, and the dream creator had 8 clones. The clones were standing around and surrounding them in a circle. What's going on? The 72 transformations? Did we run into a monkey?" Justin cursed. Before Jack could say anything, a bow and arrow appeared in the hands of the 8 dream creators. Then, all of them released their arrows. "Be careful!" Jack yelled again. Then, he and Justin quickly dodged, but just as they avoided one wave of attack, the second wave came. Their speed and numbers had already surpassed the limits of humans. "I'm not dodging anymore. This is a dream. This is a dream." Panting, Justin stood where he was and closed his eyes to gather his consciousness. Suddenly, Jack pounced on Justin and pushed him away. Then, Justin opened his eyes and saw that Jack had been shot in the arm. The arrow pierced through Jack's entire arm. "How did this happen?" Justin was dumbfounded. That bone-piercing pain hit him. Jack endured the pain and stood up. In a low voice, he said to Justin, "She's different from those 2 dream creators who created fake scenes. Some of her scenes were real and some were fake. The ocean just now was an illusion, and even though these clones are illusions, their arrows are real. It's no use even if you condense your consciousness." That's scary. How did you figure it out?" "Look at her eyes," Jack said. "Eyes? Whose eyes?" "Jack. Look at the dream creator's eyes. When she was creating a fake scene, her pupils were blue, but now they're black. So, I'm guessing that if you get shot, you'll definitely die." Justin looked at Jack in admiration. "I really admire you for discovering such a small detail. Cut the crap. Be careful." Then, Jack turned around to fight. Justin suddenly understood why Chloe loved this man so much. There was indeed an indescribable charm about him. Be it friends, family, or lovers, they would feel an inexplicable sense of security when they were by his side. Justin looked at the angle of the arrow. If Jack hadn't pushed him away, he would have been the one to get shot, and it wouldn't have been as simple as an arm. It would have been his heart. Therefore, if Jack hadn't pushed him away in time, he would have died. How could he still be alive and talking here? Seeing how Jack was able to continue fighting after being shot, Justin felt that he had to man up and not lose. Hence, the 2 men turned their backs to each other and prepared to fight side by side again. Seeing that Jack was injured, the dream creator didn't continue shooting. Instead, she looked at Jack's injuries with heartache. "If you continue like this, you won't be able to hold on for much longer. Why are you doing this? Isn't it good to leave with me?" "If I leave with you, I might as well die here. Come on, let's continue." Jack raised his hand to lessen the piercing pain from his arm. Then, he observed carefully, trying to figure out which of the 8 clones was the real one. Upon seeing Jack's injury, Justin suddenly felt motivated. While the dream creator was talking to Jack, he suddenly rushed up. Then he punched one of them in the face. His speed was also too fast for a person to handle. However, the one that was hit by Justin instantly disappeared. It turned out that this was just a fake. Thinking about it, choosing 1 out of 8 was quite difficult. The scariest thing was that after Justin shattered one of them, it reformed a few seconds later. Then, the 8 of them began to spin at high speed. Because of that, Justin didn't know which one he had just hit. The difficulty level continued to increase. Jack and Justin were both focused because they knew that either the dream creator or they would die in this battle. Justin: "Yeah? Chant the Great Compassion Mantra. Hurry." In the dark, Jack whispered to Justin. Justin immediately closed his eyes as he recalled his trump card. Then, he chanted the Great Compassion Mantra, as expected. According to Jack's prediction, as soon as he chanted the Great Compassion Mantra, all the arrows stopped in midair. Jack took the opportunity to open his eyes and observe. He noticed a slight flicker in the eyes of the woman standing in the second position. It was a minute detail that none of the other 7 had. So while the arrow was still in midair, Jack bent down and walked through underneath. He tripped the woman with his foot. He believed that this was her true body. As expected, after the woman fell, she did not disappear. Seeing that he had guessed correctly, Jack quickly turned around and grabbed her by the throat. Suddenly, he felt a burn on his hand and realized that the neck had turned into a raging ring of flames. The stinging heat reached his palm. It felt very real and didn't feel like an illusion. However, Jack knew that if he let go, he would lose. Therefore, even though it was extremely painful, he still refused to let go and used even more strength. Justin used the scripture to stop the dream creator's arrows so that she could not attack them. Jack, on the other hand, took the opportunity to attack the dream creator. The 2 men worked well together. Jack didn't know how much time had passed, but he felt like his hand was almost numb from the burn. Suddenly his hand turned cold. He looked down. The fire was gone. The dream creator lay on top of Jack, her face pale and weak. "Haha, I didn't expect you to be so powerful. You're indeed the man I like." It was strange to reply at this time. Jack didn't know what to say. Then the woman said, "Jack, my name is Shalana. Remember my name. I loved you." Jack still didn't know what to say, but he let go, because he knew she was dying. She could not even use her skills as a dream creator. "Actually, I have a way to kill you, but I don't want to do that. I have lived enough in this lifetime. I have everything I want. I hope that in my next life, I won't join the Doomsday Reaper. I want to live a normal life like all girls. I want to find someone I like, get married, and have children with him." Jack's emotions were complicated upon hearing this. Seems like even for a terrifying influence like the Doomsday Reaper, in the end, they would still envy the ordinary lives of ordinary people. "Jack, I'm a little cold. Can you hold my hand?" Her true form was actually a very beautiful young lady. She smiled sweetly. "Jack, don't do it. It might be a trap." Justin opened his eyes and reminded Jack. Jack hesitated slightly, but he still chose to believe this woman. He reached out and gently held the woman's cold hand. It seemed like Chloe was right. The body temperature of a dream creator was indeed different from that of an ordinary person. Her hands were cold. "Thank you." The woman smiled in relief, but her breath had clearly become weaker. "Who's the 4th dream creator?" Jack asked. "The 4th dream creator is in your group," the woman said. "I know. Tell me, who is it?" "It's actually—" The woman moved closer to Jack and was about to say the answer. Before the woman could finish, Jack realized that something was wrong. He quickly left the woman's side. Then there was a muffled sound, and the woman's body exploded. Then it turned into a pool of red liquid. It was extremely disgusting. "The 3rd dream creator is dead," Justin said, stunned. "Mm-hmm," Jack nodded. "Did she tell you who the 4th one is?" Justin asked. Jack shook his head. "Let's get out of here and take Auntie Sandra with us," Justin suggested. Jack nodded and quickly walked up to Sandra. After the 3rd dream creator died, everything she had created disappeared. Jack and Justin carried the unconscious Sandra. They were not anxious to return to South Hill Manor. Instead, they went to the first hospital to pick Thomas up. The three of them returned to the first hospital almost instantly with Justin's prayer beads. They also wanted to confirm whether Thomas was an illusion or a real person who had entered the dream. Just as Jack thought, Thomas was the real person who entered the dream. Thomas was surprised to see Jack and Justin return. "Brother-in-law, Brother Justin, what's wrong? Why are you so serious? What happened to my mom?" Thomas immediately went up and carried his mother. "Mom's fine, she just fainted." "Ah, that's good. That's good." "Hey, did you see my wife? She disappeared when I came back from buying food." Thomas had a harmless expression on his face, and he still wanted to find Stella. Jack and Justin looked at each other. Then, Justin cleared his throat and said to Jack, "Why don't you say it? I don't even know how to start." "What's wrong?" "Brother Justin. Brother-in-law, what happened? Don't hide it from me. Did something happen to my wife?" Thomas noticed that the two men didn't look right, and he was scared out of his wits. Therefore, Jack briefly explained what happened. Thomas was dumbfounded after hearing it. "Brother-in-law, are you saying that my wife isn't my wife?" "No, Stella isn't real." "Yes, she was the third dream creator. She is from the Doomsday Reaper." "Who are the Doomsday Reapers?" Thomas was confused. "You don't have to worry about that. You just need to know that after we kill the fourth dream creator, we will leave the dream," Jack said. "Eh? Wait a minute, brother-in-law. Then can I think like this? We entered a dream, but my wife didn't. So everything that happened in the dream isn't real. Dad's return isn't real. My sister's miscarriage isn't real. Even my nieces and nephews aren't real. So my wife, Stella, is still alive in the real world. She didn't enter a vegetative state and is still alive, right?" Your brain is working fast for once." Before Jack could say anything, Justin nodded. "Wow, that's great. My wife is fine." Upon hearing that Stella didn't enter the dream, Thomas was overjoyed. It had to be known that during this time after Stella entered a coma, Thomas had secretly cried countless times. Now that he knew that it was all a dream, he felt much more at ease. The current situation meant that Stella herself had not entered the dream and was the only one who had escaped this calamity with the twins. "Brother-in-law, does this mean that my wife is lucky? Including Pudding and Little Bean, the three of them are the only ones who didn't enter the incubus, right?" After hearing Justin's praise, Thomas quickly thought through the entire situation. "Yes, that's right." Justin felt that Thomas had become smarter and nodded. However, Jack shook his head. "No, Thomas is wrong. It's not 3. "Huh? Not 3? Who else hasn't entered the dream?" Thomas looked at his brother-in-law curiously. Jack suddenly remembered and said, "It's the fourth dream creator. Who is he pretending to be?" Then, this real person also didn't enter the dream. "Oh, right. How could I forget about the most important thing?" Thomas slapped his thigh. "Let's not waste time here. The third dream creator said that we don't have much time left. We need to hurry back and find out where the fourth dream creator is and quickly leave this place," Jack suggested. "No problem. I'll take you guys back now." Justin touched the prayer beads on his neck. He was especially grateful to Master Thorin for giving him this magical thing. With this, he didn't even need to drive. "Thomas, don't talk nonsense when you get back, and don't tell anyone what I told you today," Jack warned Thomas. "Why, brother-in-law?" "Because you don't know which of them is the fourth dream creator. We can't alarm him." Jack could rule out Thomas as a possibility because it was impossible for two dream creators to be together. Furthermore, the third dream creator said that the dream creator was among them. Therefore, Sandra and Thomas could be eliminated. Only 12 people, Chloe, Noah, Sarah, Victoria, Brenton, Max, Avery, the professor, Riker, Fiona, and the twins were left at South Hill Manor. Among the 12 of them, Chloe and the professor could be excluded. Chloe's identity was confirmed by Justin and Jack personally, and the professor was the main target this time, so they couldn't be fake. That was because those people had set up such a huge trap for the professor's red demon. Therefore, apart from Chloe and her father, the professor, there were 10 other suspects. However, it was extremely difficult to choose one out of 10. Okay, brother-in-law, I understand. I won't talk nonsense. I don't have the ability to help either of you. After I go back, I'll be in charge of taking care of my mom and sister. Thomas knew his limits. In order not to cause trouble for Jack and the others, he decided to take up a supporting role. Jack nodded and gave Justin a look. Justin turned the prayer beads, and the four of them instantly returned to the South Hill Manor. Wow, that was fast. I thought you guys were going to take a while. Sarah was at the door when she saw them. Are you guys done eating? Justin asked. Not yet. Everyone's having the hot pot. Hurry up and go in. I'll go add more dishes. Sarah happily ran into the kitchen. In the crowd, Chloe glanced at Jack and Justin. From their eyes, she could confirm that the third dream creator was dead. The fourth one is definitely good at disguising. We have to be careful, Jack whispered into Justin's ear. Okay. Sis, our mother isn't feeling well. I'll help her upstairs to rest. You guys eat first. Don't wait for me. Thomas found an excuse and went upstairs with his mother. What's wrong with Mom? I'll go upstairs to take a look. Worried, Chloe turned around and followed him upstairs. Jack and Justin found an empty seat and sat down. Justin followed Jack's plan and cleared his throat. Then he said, The third dream creator is dead. As he said this, Jack's eyes swept across everyone's faces, to observe everyone's expressions. Aside from Sarah, who was washing the vegetables in the kitchen, he had observed almost everyone. However, he did not find the subtle expression of someone whose teammate had died. Jack's gaze fell on the kitchen door again. Just then, Sarah walked out with the dishes. Justin continued, Jack and I didn't expect the third dream creator to be Stella. What? The third dream creator was Stella? Sarah was so shocked that she almost dropped the food on her plate. Justin nodded. Yeah, it was Stella. But wasn't she in a vegetative state? Sarah was surprised. Jack explained, That's why we missed her out before. At first, Justin and I thought that Thomas was, but we almost fell into her trap. Luckily, it was not too late. If she's dead, aren't we getting closer to success? Avery asked. Jack nodded. Yes, as long as we kill the fourth dream creator. Then where's the fourth one? Let's go find him. Max was also impatient. With his arm around Avery's shoulder, he suggested. Justin glanced at Jack, not knowing how to respond. Jack picked up his glass and elegantly took a sip. Then he looked around at everyone, including Sarah, who had just taken a seat. There's no need to look for him because the fourth dream creator is among us. After Jack said this, the entire crowd erupted. Justin was also slightly surprised. He knew that Jack always acted unexpectedly, so it was hard for him to predict his actions. Although it was still unclear who was the most suspicious, Chloe, Thomas, and Auntie Sandra were all eliminated as the suspects. As for Justin, Jack, and the professor, they were also not the suspects. The only ones left were Noah, Sarah, Victoria, Brenton, Max, Avery, Fiona, Riker, Rick, and Cece. And had always been with Justin, so he was pretty sure that he was harmless. At that moment, Justin was glad that Anne was with him. Otherwise, he would be the only one left alone while everyone was in pairs. Brother, are you serious? How can he be among us? Avery looked at Jack in disbelief. The fourth dream creator is among us. This is what the third dream creator said before she died, Jack explained. Jack, you're too impulsive. How can you believe the words of the third dream creator? Maybe she's misleading us, trying to drive a wedge between us and make us fight one another. Sarah's voice was loud, so everyone heard her clearly. Jack glanced at Rick. Rick was considered Jack's good friend. Jack knew Rick the best. Ever since they moved in together, Jack hadn't talked much with Rick. Of course, it wasn't because he didn't trust Rick, but because he didn't know how to tell Rick that his child with Cece was not real. In the real world, Cece's due date wasn't up yet. Her due date was only a few days away from Chloe's. Since Jack said that, there must be a reason. I believe him. Rick, who had always been silent, spoke. Cece sat next to Rick with the baby in her arms, not saying a word. He trusted Jack unconditionally, and at the same time, Jack trusted Rick. However, Jack couldn't tell Justin that because Rick and he were close, he didn't suspect him. So for the time being, Rick was on the suspect list like everyone else. However, Jack secretly eliminated Rick. Does that mean that everyone here is a suspect? Victoria looked at Justin, then at Jack. Note: Daddy, are we being suspected too? Little Bean looked at Daddy with a wronged expression. Justin nodded. That's right. You two are the same, but don't be sad. We are finding the fourth dream creator to help everyone escape from this godforsaken place, so don't panic. If someone had to panic, it should be the fourth dream creator. After all, his identity is about to be exposed. Jack didn't answer Little Bean's question, but Justin did. Perhaps he understood how, as a father, Jack was unable to face his child. Even though he knew that the twins were not real, that they could be fictional, or that they could be dream creators. What about Chloe? Victoria asked. Chloe is also eliminated. Jack and I confirmed it. Auntie Sandra and Thomas were also eliminated during the battle with the third dream creator, so we temporarily isolated them. So what you're saying now is that this hot pot meal is to find the fourth dream creator? After Victoria said this, everyone understood Jack and Justin's intentions. Young Master Cooper, brother-in-law, just tell us, how many people were eliminated? After we remove those who were eliminated, the rest will stand in a row. We'll think of a way to confirm it. Max couldn't wait any longer. The moment he heard that the dream creator was among them, he couldn't eat anymore. Justin looked at Jack. Then, he took the initiative to explain. Among the people sitting here, only the professor can be eliminated as the suspect. As for the reason, I will explain to everyone. The final objective of the four dream creators is a mysterious treasure called Red Demon in the professor's hands. Although we don't know what it is, and I don't want to know what it is, it must be very important. Otherwise, they wouldn't have spent so much effort to create such a huge incubus. So the professor must be real. Uncle Wagner, please step forward. After Justin spoke, everyone looked at the professor. The professor rose slightly, his face expressionless. Jack added, When we killed the first dream creator, the woman who looked like Dr. Lin, my dad was a key figure. So based on this, we can rule him out. The professor slowly walked out and separated himself from the rest. Fiona smiled and teased him. Dad, you're the most respected person in the world. Even if you're a suspect, you are the first to be cleared. Okay, Fiona, stop it. Let's get down to business, Riker reminded Fiona seriously. It wasn't the time to joke around. Brother, how are we going to confirm the fourth dream creator? Do you have any ideas? Avery asked. Yeah, say something. Hurry up and find him so we can continue eating hot pot, Max said. Brenton chuckled. You sure are fearless. You're still thinking about eating hot pot at a time like this. If the identity of the fourth dream creator is exposed, it'll probably be another life and death battle. Plus, if we work together and kill the dream creator, we'll all leave this stupid place and return to the real world. We can eat whatever we want. No, you don't understand. I like the feeling of eating hot pot in the dream, Max said happily. You're such a batch. Brenton laughed at Max. Jack looked around at everyone and said, We do have an idea for now. Justin, Chloe, and I all agree with it. It's said that dream creators have low body temperatures, so their hands and feet are cold. So please stretch out your hands. I'll let Justin touch them one by one. And check the temperature of your palms. Wow, what does that mean? Are you asking us to measure our body temperature? Max asked. No need, everyone. Just stretch out your hands and let us check, Justin said. That's a good idea, heh. Come on, touch mine first. Noah smiled and reached out his hand. Justin glanced at Jack, then touched Noah's palms. It was the warmth of a human body. Handsome Cooper, I want one too. Pudding raised her hand for Justin to examine. Justin glanced at Pudding and walked towards her. Jack, on the other hand, scanned through everyone's micro-expressions, trying to find some useful information. But at this moment, the scene suddenly changed. The South Hill Manor suddenly became a dilapidated ship. They were floating on the sea surface in the middle of the night. The scary thing was that it happened to be a stormy day. Everyone on the ship was moving side to side. The situation was very dangerous. Meanwhile, Chloe, Thomas, and Sandra were nowhere to be seen. Jack's first reaction was that the dream creator in the dining room had secretly done something. Chloe and the others weren't in the dining room, so they weren't pulled into the illusion she created. "What's going on? Where's my hot pot?" Max was dumbfounded. He hugged Avery tightly, afraid that something would happen to his wife. Brenton and Noah also hugged their children tightly. Jack glanced at the twins, who were huddled together in a corner. "Jack, what do we do now?" Justin rushed up and grabbed Jack's shoulder. "It must be because the dream creator didn't want us to use body temperature to identify him. That's why he came up with this plan. Where did we check up to just now?" Jack asked Justin. "It's Pudding's turn," Justin said. Jack looked at Pudding with a complicated expression on his face. He really didn't want to suspect his daughter, but it just so happened that when it was time to check on Pudding, the dream creator secretly made a move. Because his movements were too fast, he did not see clearly who made the hand seals. "Are you suspecting Pudding?" Justin looked at Jack's eyes and guessed. "What about you?" Jack asked Justin. "I suspect Sarah. Her reaction just now was obviously bigger than the others," Justin said. Jack lowered his voice and whispered into Justin's ear. "After what happened with Stella and Thomas last time, I think Sarah might be the most suspicious on the surface, but the dream creator must have done something to mislead us into thinking that it was Sarah." "You mean?" Justin was confused. "What I mean is, we're going to play a big game this time. Justin, who do you think has the best performance among these people? Who doesn't seem like a dream creator?" Justin was about to speak, but they heard the professor's aged voice. "Jack, Justin, come here." Jack and Justin both turned around and ran towards the professor. "What's wrong, Dad?" Jack looked anxious. "Fiona and Riker are missing," the professor said. Justin and Jack immediately looked around. They could see the boat clearly, but Fiona and Riker were nowhere to be seen. "They never came in, or?" Jack asked the professor. "They were just with me a moment ago, and now they are gone. It happened in an instant." The professor also found it strange. Just as everyone was about to say something, they suddenly heard a series of banging sounds from below the ship. Then, Jack followed the sound and found a hidden wooden door. He squatted down and lifted the wooden door. Everyone was stunned. Fiona was holding a handgun and had shot Riker twice. Justin wanted to jump down and attack Fiona. After all, he thought Fiona was the dream creator. However, Jack stopped him. "We should attack. She's the fourth dream creator." Justin was worried that Jack wouldn't understand, so he anxiously explained. "Justin, look!" He pointed at the blood behind Riker. Jack pointed out to Justin. It was a red liquid that only appeared after a dream creator died. Justin was so shocked that he didn't know what to say. So Riker was the dream creator? The dream creator was severely injured, and the illusion gradually disappeared. In an instant, everyone returned to the dining room in South Hill Manor. Riker lay on the ground, his face pale. He lifted his head to look at Fiona, but his voice had changed. "When did you find out?" Fiona looked up and sighed. "About 24 hours ago." "Then why did you just take action now?" he asked. "You're wearing the face of the man I love the most. I really couldn't bear to do it. That's why you're also quite smart," Fiona said. "Did I have any flaws?" Actually, he was already very careful around Fiona. After all, he knew that she was extremely smart. Unexpectedly, he still accidentally revealed a flaw. If not, he would have secretly formed a seal just now and created a tsunami in the dream. But before he could do anything, Fiona stabbed him in the back. Then Fiona dragged him to the secret basement in the boat and fired 2 more shots. Fiona's expression was complicated. Perhaps no one knew how she felt when she shot the man she loved. Of course, her rationality told her that it wasn't Riker. It was just a dream creator with the same face as Riker. She also knew that if she did not act ruthlessly, everyone would die. My Riker is famous for being a little heater. I often hug him to sleep, so I'm very familiar with his body temperature. Although my Riker is amazing, he's definitely not a magician. When you proposed, that rose, I asked you where it came from. Do you remember how you answered? Fiona looked at the last dream creator calmly. I said I took it from Sister's place, he answered. Fiona smiled. You might not know this, but my sister never raised roses because there are too many thorns. She was afraid of hurting Pudding and Little Bean. So, I thought, what kind of person could create roses from a house without roses? Maybe. Only dream creators can do that. Why didn't you expose me then? Because I was not sure. I was afraid that I'd wrongly accuse you. After all, in the dream, if I kill the real person, you'd be dead. I don't want to kill the man I love because of a single thought of mine. Fiona is so smart. Haha, you guys don't deserve to be wiped out. Our boss didn't waste his time creating an incubus for you guys. Haha. The man slowly revealed his true face, replacing the appearance that was exactly like Riker. It turned out that he was also a handsome man. He looked young, but no one knew him. He should be from Doomsday Reaper, Jack said. Brother-in-law, the fourth dream creator is dead. Should we return to the real world now? Fiona turned around and asked Jack. At this time, before Jack could reply, the ground began to shake like an earthquake. Everyone felt dizzy. Jack subconsciously looked at Justin, searching for him. With the death of the fourth dream creator, the dream world started to collapse. Some people said that the fourth dream creator died too easily, but that was not the case. Fiona had been suspicious of him for a long time and had been observing him closely. If Fiona hadn't acted quickly, he probably would have killed everyone by the time Jack and Justin found out who Riker really was. Therefore, it wasn't easy. Fiona was simply too amazing. The fourth dream creator took his last breath and the dream world started to collapse. To dream creators, they should be the manipulators. Perhaps in their lives, no one could escape the incubus so quickly. Of course, all of this was thanks to Justin. He was the one who brought such important information after entering the dream the second time. Chloe, Thomas, and their mother also rushed over to reunite with everyone. Just then, Jack realized a serious problem. Everyone's bodies began to disappear, starting from the soles of their feet, and then to their calves. However, there was no change to Justin. Justin, why are you so different from us? Breton shouted at Justin when he realized something was wrong. Justin didn't say anything, and only licked his lips. Justin, say something. What's going on? Max had a bad feeling. Although he couldn't describe what he was feeling, he felt that something was wrong with Justin. Chloe and Jack both looked at Justin. Chloe wanted to run over to Justin and grab his collar, and question him, Justin, what's wrong with you? What trick did you play this time? However, just as Chloe was about to run over, she realized that her legs had disappeared. Everyone was disappearing. This was a sign that they were leaving this place. No one was afraid. But why was Justin different from everyone else? Boss, what's wrong? Why are you different from us? Say something. Anne kept shaking Justin's arm, but he refused to say a word. He looked around at the familiar faces. Finally, he smiled. I, Justin, am content to know everyone. What do you mean? Justin, make yourself clear. What the hell do you mean? Chloe would hardly curse. She would only curse when she lost her mind. At this moment, in front of so many people, Chloe couldn't suppress the fear in her heart and yelled at Justin. Justin looked at Chloe and moved his mouth, wanting to say something, but he did not say it eventually. Then, he looked at Jack and said, Take good care of this silly woman. At this moment, everyone had already disappeared to their heads. Chloe wanted to say something else, but her vision turned dark. She completely lost consciousness. She only remembered the last moment when she saw Justin before leaving the incubus. Justin stood a distance away from everyone. He was wearing his favorite white Versace short-sleeved shirt and coffee-colored casual pants. He was like a lonely teenager. There was reluctance in his eyes, tears, and many other things that he had not said. In the end, Jack didn't ask Justin because he knew that Justin was hiding something from them. If Justin hadn't told him before, he wouldn't have known. Now Justin no longer needed to say anything. He already knew. The dream creators were dead. The incubus was broken. Everyone had returned, but Justin had stayed. When Chloe woke up again, she saw the familiar ceiling. She opened her eyes slowly and covered her eyes with her hand, afraid that the strong light would blind her. Chloe, you finally woke up. It seemed like Jack had woken up before her. Chloe suddenly stood up as if she thought of something. Honey, where's Justin? Where's Justin? Jack remained silent. Honey, I'm asking you. Say something. Where's Justin? Ask him to come see me. Chloe, calm down and listen to me. I'm not listening. I don't want to hear you say anything. Right now, I just want to see Justin. Go and call him over. I want to see him right now. Chloe rarely lost her mind like this. She covered her head with her hands and shook her messy long hair. She refused to listen to anything Jack said to her. No matter what Jack said, she would only repeat herself. I want to see Justin. I want him to see me immediately. In the end, Jack decided to tell her the truth. Chloe, Justin didn't come back. Chloe froze. Where did he go? Didn't he come back? Did he go abroad? Or was he afraid that I would scold him, so he went into hiding? Or did he go to a meeting with Grandpa Cooper? Did he go to the army to see his old comrades? Chloe, you should know better than to lie to yourself. Justin didn't come back with us from the dream. I don't believe you. I'm going to find Justin now. Chloe got off the bed, but her legs were shaking so much that she almost fell to the ground. Luckily, Jack was quick to react and helped Chloe up. More accurately, it was Chloe with a big belly. They had finally returned to the real world at the correct time. Chloe hadn't given birth yet because it wasn't her due date yet. In the butler's eyes, they had only slept for a night after coming back last night. Honey, please take me to Justin. I'm begging you. Chloe closed her eyes and cried in pain. Don't cry, Chloe. I'll take you to see him. Heartbroken, Jack wiped away Chloe's tears and carefully carried her downstairs. Then he placed her on the passenger seat of the black Bentley. Then, the couple went to Justin's private mansion. Everyone had returned to their original location. Only Sandra was still feeling unwell and had not recovered. Everyone woke up and rushed to Justin's house at the first instant. When Jack and Chloe arrived, everyone was already there. Aside from the people who came back from the dream, there were two other people at Justin's house. One was Justin's mother, Mrs. Cooper. One was Justin's master, Master Thorin. However, no one was familiar with Master Thorin. They only found out after Justin's mother introduced him. Chloe, you're here, Victoria said when she saw Chloe and Jack. Everyone immediately looked over. Where's Justin? Chloe didn't have anything on her mind right now. All she had left was to find Justin. Victoria didn't say anything. She pointed at the man lying on the bed in Anne's bedroom. After Anne woke up, he found himself lying on the same bed as his boss. He wanted to shake him awake, but Master Thorin stopped him. Chloe broke free from Jack's embrace and quickly walked up to the bed. Then, she looked at the man lying on the bed who had not awakened. Her mood was worse than death. Justin, stop it, okay? This isn't funny. We were all worried about you. We agreed to come back together. Wake up. Don't stay in bed. Chloe sat on Justin's bed with an unprecedented gentleness. Then, she reached out and gently tapped Justin's forehead with her finger. It was like a little girl waking up her boyfriend. However, Justin still didn't respond. Seeing Chloe's actions, everyone burst into tears again. Mrs. Cooper picked up her handkerchief, covered her nose, and burst into tears again, although she had cried countless times over the past few days. With Chloe crying, everyone couldn't hold back anymore. Max used to think that crying was too embarrassing, but now he couldn't care less. Brenton was a reserved person, but he also turned around and silently wiped his tears. You're Justin's master, Master Thorin, right? Jack was relatively rational. He endured the pain and walked over to Master Thorin. Master Thorin nodded. His face was also haggard. Master Thorin, I've heard Justin mention you many times in the dream. Can you tell me why Justin hasn't woken up yet? When will he wake up? Master Thorin glanced at Jack and then at Chloe. Then, he slowly said, the first time Justin came back by accident, he realized that something was wrong. Then, through a freak combination of factors, he came to me through a friend. I have some fate with this kid, so I helped him clear many doubts and told him about the incubus. After he heard that you guys were in danger inside, he begged me to let him enter the dream again. We found the hypnotist who led you into the dream and sent him back. Only when he went back to his dream would he be able to tell you that you guys were dreaming and had a chance of escaping. I thought that 4 dream creators would be enough to deal with you guys, but I didn't expect you guys to be so capable and come out so quickly. What price did Justin had to pay for entering the dream a second time? Jack saw that Master Thorin didn't get to the main point after speaking so much, so he hit the nail on the head. Master Thorin was silent for a moment. Then he looked around at everyone's faces and continued, "The person who enters the dream for the second time will be trapped in the dream forever." After Master Thorin said this, everyone's emotions clearly collapsed. Anne's crying went from an initial soft sob to a painful wail. Max even kicked over a wooden coffee table in the room in agitation, causing his leg to be bruised. Avery squatted down and quickly found a first aid kit to help Max apply some medicated oil. Brenton sucked in a breath of cold air as well. He didn't feel good at all. Victoria held her husband's hand tightly. She wanted to comfort him, but she didn't know what to say. The professor and Fiona were calmer than these people. After all, they didn't have a deep relationship with Justin. However, they knew that Justin was doing this for everyone, so their hearts were heavy. Chloe had the biggest reaction. After hearing this, she turned around and grabbed Justin's collar. "Justin, you're a liar. I asked you before. I asked you in the dream, but you didn't say anything. Didn't you say that you were fine? Why didn't you come back? Why? Tell me. Why did you lie to me? You big liar! I'll never forgive you. I'll never be friends with you again." This was the first time Chloe had been so hysterical without caring about her image. Jack immediately ran up and hugged Chloe tightly. Master Thorin also advised, "You better not touch Justin. If he moves now, he might disappear in the dream." Chloe immediately stopped what she was doing. Then, she sat on the ground with her eyes wide open. "Master Thorin, is there really no other way? You're a wise man. Please help us." Jack looked at Master Thorin and placed his last hope on him. Before Master Thorin could respond, Chloe said, "Can I replace him? I want to replace him. Let him come out and I'll go in, okay?" Master Thorin shook his head. "I understand how you guys feel. Justin is my disciple, and he's the only disciple I've ever taken in my entire life. Of course, I don't want anything to happen to him, but there's really nothing I can do about it." When Justin entered the dream for the second time, I told him, "There are only two outcomes for you this time. First, the dream creators will kill you and your people. Second, you guys will successfully kill the dream creators. Your friends will all come back, but you will stay in the dream forever." No one said anything. They just listened quietly. Master Thorin continued, "I emphasized the pros and cons of this many times, but Justin still chose to do this. It's obvious that you guys are more important to him than himself, so please respect his choice." "Master Thorin, what will happen to Justin in the dream? Will he be in danger? What will he encounter? How will he live in the dream alone?" Victoria was indeed a doctor in psychology, and the questions she thought of were all questions that no one could think of. She had already accepted the fact that Justin had stayed behind in the dream. However, she wanted to know what Justin will be like in the dream after everyone left. What would he encounter? Would he be in danger? Sure enough, after Victoria asked, everyone looked at Master Thorin expectantly. It seemed like everyone wanted to know what Justin would experience in the dream. Master Thorin sighed. "I've never experienced anything like this before, so I don't dare to think too much about it. However, according to my personal analysis, since the dream creators are dead, he's not in any danger. However, you guys are gone too. He's probably alone in the dream. No matter what he's going to experience, he will always be alone. The dream creators are dead, so everything that was created by the dream creators would collapse. Justin is the only real person left in the incubus, so he's probably the only one left. What's scary now isn't whether he's in danger in the dream, but the endless loneliness." After Master Thorin said that, everyone understood what he meant. In the dream, Justin would not age or die. There was no danger, and he didn't need to eat or drink. However, he would always be alone and would have no concept of time. Just thinking about it made one despair. There was a saying from somewhere before that the scariest thing in this world was not death, not separation from life, but eternal loneliness. Upon hearing this, Mrs. Cooper burst into tears. "Justin, you silly child. What am I supposed to do if you do this? My heart hurts. Let me go in and keep you company, my child." Mrs. Cooper cried her eyes out. especially when she saw everyone return safely and only Justin was still asleep. Master Thorin, how should we settle him down now? Fiona remained calm. Justin was already like this, and his soul seemed to be trapped in the dream, unable to return. Only a body remained in the real world as if it had fallen asleep. To put it nicely, he was asleep. To put it bluntly, he was in a vegetative state. Master Thorin looked at the asleep Justin and felt extremely depressed. He might continue to sleep like this without aging and dying, but he will never wake up. Should we send him to the hospital? Should we put him on nutritional fluids? Fiona asked. No, he doesn't need anything. He just needs to lie here quietly. What if Justin's body in the real world died? What would happen in the dream? Fiona asked all the unexpected questions. Master Thorin looked at Fiona with a complicated expression. He will die in the dream too. From then on, Justin will no longer exist. No, I don't want that. Even if Justin doesn't wake up, I want to keep his body with me. No one is allowed to touch him. Mrs. Cooper was probably too worried. So after she overheard the conversation between Fiona and Master Thorin, she immediately ran over and protected Justin, thinking that someone was going to do something to him. Auntie, don't worry. We will protect Justin's body and never let him get hurt again. Jack's voice was extremely hoarse. He felt extremely guilty towards Justin, but he could never express it. At this moment, in the dream. As the dreamscape collapsed bit by bit, everyone left the incubus. At that moment, Justin felt relieved. The purpose of his second time entering the dream was just for this. He wasn't a savior. He was just a man willing to protect the woman he loved. He was Justin. Justin once imagined what would happen to him after he killed all the dream creators and his friends had returned to the real world. But at this moment, he still felt an inexplicable sense of loneliness. The dream creators were dead, and all the illusions disappeared. There was no Justin's mansion, no South Hill Manor, and no city. Nor was there a primitive jungle in Yunnan or an underwater world in the Arctic. The world was suddenly filled with darkness. Then there were no more skyscrapers, no more traffic. Justin walked alone in the endless desert. He didn't need water or food. He wouldn't age, he wouldn't die, and he could live without sleeping. No matter how far he walked, he could not get out of this gray desert. He knew that this was the incomplete dream world after the creators had died and his friends had left. His world alone. He also knew that he would never be able to leave this place. Perhaps he would be trapped here forever. After walking for some time, Justin was a little disappointed. He did not have the courage to continue walking, because no matter how long he walked, it would be the same. This place would never change, and there was no sound. It was as if he was the only person in the world. Yes, that's right. He was the only person in the world. Justin sat down, exhausted. He bent his knees and reached out to grab a handful of sand. He thought about the first time he met Chloe. That cold and domineering nurse who did not know the immensity of heaven and earth. He smiled. As soon as he thought of Chloe's familiar face, Justin felt that everything was worth it. In this empty and uninhabited place, Justin was so lonely that he wanted to cry. But he didn't. He wouldn't. He knew that his friends had safely returned to the real world. This was the final outcome he wanted, wasn't it? After a while, Justin opened his mouth. He wanted to sing. Yes, he suddenly wanted to sing a song. A low voice sounded, "Once will be enough. I'll show you the world." Laughing in the sunshine, making noise in the air of freedom. Do you know the only thing I want? The world is small. I will go with you to the ends of the earth. In a corner without worries and stop my searching. Slowly growing old in the carefree days. Do you know that my heart is beating with you? This was the love song Once Will Do that Justin sang to Chloe during the anniversary celebration. That was his first time singing a love song in his life. Until now, he still especially liked it. If only God would give him a chance to take care of Chloe, just once. Thanks for tuning in to the Cool Audio Podcast. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a fellow story lover. Until next time, stay cool and keep listening.